All right, and Blast Off, we are live. Hey, the show SHEcago. That's right. SHEcago. Chicago. That means it's the ladies. We got doctors popping in. We're gonna have probably a lieutenant governor pop in, but all that soon as we get right back. Hey, it's your buddy AJ Williams, the media guy. It's that time for your wellness and your wealth to reach new highs, to expand the universe. So give us a call, 312-686-4097, or email us at SHEcago100@gmail.com. That's right, SHEcago100@gmail.com. And join the conversation on SHEcago Talks Live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and watch your wellness and your wealth rocketed out of this world. That's right. Come get the 911 on the 411. For women, from women. Hurry. Remember, it's a Her World Media production. All women, all the time. Hashtag Shift the Spotlight. So how y'all like my little commercial spot? That's kind of, I know it ain't. It's gonna get better. I'm gonna do something with it.
It's wonderful.
I'm trying to get all the women. I want the women to make it. I'd rather have the woman voice on there instead of mine. Yes. Here you go, another woman calling me now. Hey, I'm doing my show at 6 o'clock. I'm on live. Yeah. That's my admin. She my admin, and she calling me at 6. Boy, it's the way it go. Hey, because you know what? This is not the regular network. This is internet. So we do what we want to do. Hey, and we keep going. We keep rolling. Like I got this fabulous master teacher just popped in. Maybeth White.
Always, you know what to say, don't you?
Always some 007 stuff on the down low. Man, it's explosive.
Who is this lovely young lady, Dr. Symone?
The doctor.
Hello.
The doctor. And so what is your story, Doc? I mean, you was hooking up there with my actors and my other doctor, Michelle. So y'all creating a new bomb? The social bomb?
Well, we're always in creation mode, right?
I know.
So, but my history, my past, my day job, well, it's kind of sort of is. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist here in the state of Illinois, and I invented a product for women's fashion. And can I show it to you or no? I don't know.
Yes. This is open form.
It's bare elastic.
We want to see.
Yeah, it's bare. It keeps your off-the-shoulder fashions off the shoulder. So I don't know if you can. I'm wearing off the shoulder.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means that when I wear this look off the shoulder, I can still raise my arms and move and do my turns because I have this product on, right?
Okay, that keeps it in place.
That keeps.
Oh, so we don't get no little sneak preview by accident.
No, so
Janet Jackson.
Let me get my thing together. Right, so that women can have freedom of movement and women can be confident in their off-the-shoulder fashion. So we are talking about confidence. We're talking about self-love, and fussing with your clothes is not the way. So that's just my contribution to help out, right? So in that process, though, I learned how to file the provisional patents, get the patent, and all that stuff. So it's just about, like you said earlier, creativity, innovation, keep growing, keep doing, and try to serve.
And we gonna need you because we got some fantastic women in here with products and services. Like Barbara Loving, she's our fashion, so she might be something. Hope she pops in so she can. Y'all might be able to cross paths and hey. But hey, we most of us don't even think about patent. What's a patent? Patent leather shoe? We don't think about. Hey, that's somebody could take your stuff without that.
No, but this is very helpful, Dr. Lewis, in that there are steps one has to take to develop a product, get a patent, submit a patent to the government, and protect your copyright. That's a whole seminar series of workshops in itself. And Anthony, would you move the media off of my name, please? On my screen, it says across my name, media.
Is that better?
You eliminated me, but that's okay. I'll take
No,
it for
you're
now.
still
Make
there.
your screen smaller.
Oh, I do need to make mine smaller.
Yes, you do. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
See, she's the boss. I'm just here.
No, I'm a guide. But Dr. Lewis, this is invaluable information.
Well, also, and then start a business, right? So I kind of dove in not knowing, you know what I mean? So I'm still on that journey. Correct.
Oh, but y'all women do it. Y'all, you know, y'all
He knows what to say.
get it done. I mean, hey, I've been out here struggling with this media stuff, and every time where I bump into it is powerful women running things. And they've taken me under their wing like, well, come on, Aunt. I'm telling you, some of the guys, you know, they just treat me like the little guy. Get on back, man. But you ladies, I don't know. You know, I pride myself of being the big kahuna in my family because I'm the oldest. But sometimes I'm like the little brother around you all. Y'all be like, well, come on, man. You can, since you here, come on, kid. And I love it. You know, I got to put down all that chauvinist ego stuff that I grew up with, you know, 57 years. But hey, I love it. That's a cool hat you got on too, Teacher White.
Thank you.
I see you. Woo.
Thank you.
Yes. Rock teacher in the house.
I'm having an interesting hair day. What can I say?
I ain't got no hair. I ain't never got no hair today. I just changed hats. Right.
Let me ask you, Dr. Lewis, have you thought about putting together workshops or seminars on not only starting a business, but on the process that one must go through to develop a product, and then kind of an overview of what to do, how to find a manufacturer for a product? Because no one would ever think about stays essentially to keep your off-the-shoulder garments in place, but that would be very helpful.
It would. I'm actually still looking for an ethical and sustainable, and at most a regenerative manufacturer, you know, people who are concerned about the environment and all the stuff that the fashion industry is doing, you know, with the pollution and the contribution to the, you know, CO2 gases and all that stuff. It's a mess. So there's specialized manufacturers for that. My product utilizes elastic, and there's a lot of issues with elastic and the environment. So that is one of my hangups. You know what I mean? Like I could just give it to somebody, say, go make it in China. But there are some things that, you know, in kind of our feminine energy and caring about the earth and the environment, you know, is kind of guiding my choices. And it's slowing me down a little bit. But, you know, everything, I think it's all going to happen when it's supposed to happen, you know, so.
All things in time, yes.
Yeah.
So do you do any contract work doing your the psych work?
Well,
psychology?
Yeah, well, I'm actually shifting because the company is called Shoulder Bear, and it's a company devoted to helping women feel confidence, you know, and the first way is with off the shoulder fashions, and that's where Bare Elastics comes in as our first product. But again, I thought of it. I'm a psychologist, and so I am opening up to consultation services, but I'm moving it away from psychology per se, because I don't want to enter into, you know, psychological like contracts, you know, it's different. So I wanted to do consultation and coaching.
So now that's on the business side of what going with your clothes, but well, it seems like you just like, cause I don't have a doctor's degree in psych, but my background is social services.
Well, yeah.
Police, law enforcement, and you know, and working in the school. So I was just looking at, you sound like you might be doing contracts coming through the schools, you know, doing some hit and miss, you know, make $1 million, say a couple of words and you out the back door.
Well, that would be nice. But right now I am looking to work with Chicago public schools and the charter schools and bringing some wellness courses into the classroom for the youth by way of, you know, different like crafting kind of stuff and teaching them grounding and coping with anxiety.
And you know what? Yeah, we really need to connect, because I shouldn't be putting this out. I just have 8 offer letters to go to work.
Okay.
But you know what? It's in a time of my life that I really don't want to work for nobody. I really want to work for myself. And they made me go get the COVID today. I had to go get. Matter of fact, while I'm on my way to getting the COVID shot, I got 2 employers calling me, can you start Friday? But you need your vaccine. I'm like, I'm on my way to the VA as we speak. So I'm like, oh man.
I hope you don't have a reaction, because I got the shot
that's why I've been hiding
for a couple of days.
I've been hiding for a year from this, because I had it back in 2020. I had it already. And then I'm like, I know I'm no doctor, but I'm saying, you're gonna tell me all my life I had the flu since I was born. Those stay inside me, all those kind of viruses. I said, you gonna tell me the COVID, I don't have no antibodies from back from 2020? Oh no, you got to take the shot. So my doctor wouldn't give me an exempt. I was trying to get an exempt because I hate shots. But I'm gonna tell you, I didn't feel the shot.
A psychological issue, Dr. Lewis.
Yeah, I do. I just told the young ladies at the thing, I seen grown soldiers fall out, boom, and rip their skin while the needle's still in.
Oh.
I didn't fall out because I was from the south side of Chicago, but my knees were shaking. I ain't gonna lie.
Can I ask a question, Anthony?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you attend Chicago public schools?
I'm from the Wild Hunnets. Of course I did.
Well then, if memory serves me correct, you had to have vaccinations to go to school, right?
And I hated it. They had to chase me around
in the service, right?
17
shots are mandatory in the service, so buck up, brother. You gotta do.
I end up my last years. I end up with a profile not to get the flu shot, because the flu shot would mess my arm up. I couldn't live. I would have to take codeine pills to sleep at night. So, and you know what they offered me today? While they giving me that, they asked you, do you want a flu shot? I was like, really?
You can get away with not taking a flu shot. I haven't had one in 20 years. I just changed my diet, eliminate wheat and dairy, and I'm okay. Praise the Lord. But this COVID thing,
I couldn't get around.
As it becomes a little looser, hopefully I can get back on some planes, because what I had planned to do with this part of my life is travel the world and do stuff. And these restrictions are uncomfortable, and I don't really think they're correct in all instances. But I joke and say I'm like a puppy. I got all my shots.
Got all your shots?
Yeah, because I'm gonna get on a plane as soon as
you get on a plane. I've been on the plane so many times between the age of 18 and
I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about now.
Wow.
And the requirement is that you show that you have been vaccinated, and now they got a thing. If you want to go to certain countries, you have to present a negative COVID test.
Shot records
too. Come on.
That's what I had to do.
Let's give him a hand. Let's give
That's
him
what I had to do in the Army. I had to carry around shot records every time I went to a different country, and I had to carry this around.
You had a yellow card.
I had a yellow card.
That's good to know. It's not new.
Yeah, you have a yellow book.
You must have been hanging out with some soldiers.
Get off the plane almost. They want to see your passport and your shot record. So I'm used to taking shots, and if all it takes for me to do is to get a little booster, my arm sore, and get the little shot. I even had a woman say to me that it changes your genetics, and I said, well, you're 66. Are you gonna have another baby? I mean, come on.
Hey, y'all Black women can have it at 70. You never know.
Well, I never venture away from the realm of what can be. After all, I don't mean to be sacrilegious in saying that this is supposed to be the time of immaculate reception, right? That was supposed to be funny.
We got tubes. we got test tubes. We can get it done.
No, well.
Yeah. What do you think of? What's a psych perspective on all this? I know you get this every day.
Well, just like Teacher White said, that was one of my reasons for getting the booster shot. That was like kind of my sacrifice. I didn't get all into the, what does this mean? What's going on? I just didn't want to be blocked from traveling. Right. I was like,
hey.
So sound like you just took the mark so you could travel.
That's it. That's it. I'm going to be able to go any place with no restrictions.
I was scared. If I didn't want to pick up this part-time job, I would have never got that shot. I ain't gonna lie, because I could do virtual for the next 50 years. I'm good.
May I ask you, Dr. Lewis, what advice you would give to women, and I'm not trying to eliminate any color frame or color within the spectrum of colors, but what advice or a mantra would you suggest for women of color who are who have had a brilliant idea and seek to go forward and not be discouraged to go forward and fulfill their dream?
Wow. Well, okay, so
Because you got something going for you. I can see it in your eyes.
yes, I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work because I also came out of a divorce and I went through homelessness and I went through all this stuff. So, to make that decision to leave the, 3-story house and yes, I do. You do see that light in me.
Yeah, I do.
Because I'm starting to feel bad.
Yeah, even with my glasses and my cap, I can see that. Yeah,
I feel bad now
because you have you have something that is motivating you. That's what we need to hear about women who have had life challenges. Right. Not only that, but spirit challenges.
There it is. That's it. That's it. It's all about spirit. It's all about finding your life purpose and making the sacrifices to do what you're supposed to do, right? To be your greatest potential.
Wonderful.
And it takes choices, and that's what it is. It's choices. Like you say, I put the name of the beast or whatever to fly the airplane. Some people take the whatever the beast sign or whatever and stay in a marriage where there's no loving. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they're in prison.
Yeah, I understand. My ex tried to kill me. So, hey, I had to make a decision. I walked away from the house and the prestige and the whole thing, too.
And y'all making me feel bad.
No, it has nothing to do with you, but that was...
Yeah, I know I wasn't there.
But it has something to do with your gender. And, we could get into deep psychology about the reasons for second class, the way women are taught that we are supposed to be second class. And there's someone who's supposed to, I hate this word, lord over us. And in some instances, it means being demeaned. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut off. And Anthony, I mean, disrespect. But can you give us a small peek into what you would suggest for women who are starting to shake and they're being discouraged, but they need to keep on because this is a trial that they must go through to get to where they need to be. In other words, your history is what helped shape you. Like in Jeremiah, it says, and I'm not a real Bible person, but I was awake that day. Mm-hmm. It says, my people have been tempered in the furnace of afflictions.
Yes, I understand that. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So could you share with us if you would? Because Anthony's other folks don't seem to be coming in, neither are mine. But this is an invaluable moment.
Wakanda forever. I hear it. Here go the revolution.
Yeah, and with that verse that you just said, it's sometimes you have to be, you have to recognize your melancholy, right? Everybody's talking about pump up, pump up, pump up. Right. But sometimes you got to recognize.
I'm taking notes if you don't mind.
Please, recognize what you don't want so that you can figure out what you do want, right? So it's not always running away from negative emotion. You know what I mean? Yes, we have the power to change our emotions. First, we have to identify them, be honest. And a lot of people walk around in denial. They're not even acknowledging how they're really feeling. So that takes time and space to sit with how you are feeling, right? And be honest with yourself. Are you in regret? Are you sad? Are you furious? You know what I mean? Like really tap into that. And then, if you want to, and then change that, because our emotions are choices, how we think about things, and how we create our narrative, that can also impact how we're feeling about things. Okay. But first you got to realize what is, and if it's crap, it's crap, then that's how I don't want this crap. Right. And then, so how do you move forward? Well, then you have to, that's when you connect with spirit. That's when you ask for guidance. Right. I personally am a true believer. This has been my guide, is to really not just theoretically, but literally pay attention to your dreams when you sleep at night. Pay attention to your dreams.
Wow.
And keep a little notebook, because there are your nuggets of your subconscious are working and guiding you and giving you information about how you feel about things when you are in denial about how you're feeling about stuff.
Wonderful.
Man, I
Wonderful.
got 5 notebooks of dreams that I always think of these ideals to do shows. And in the middle of the night, I'm up at 3 in the morning.
Wonderful.
Write them down. Good.
And I have my notebook by the bed, and sometimes I'm awakened and I write down things and I'm wow, and then I go back and I follow through. But doesn't it also, Dr. Lewis, mean that in a society where there's so many negatives focused towards people of color and women, that we need to have love and faith in ourselves and also in a higher power, whatever you want to make that? Isn't that essential also?
Essential.
To be, I have this, I was in substance abuse, funding of substance abuse organizations. And let me talk quickly about FOLA, because I have a question. I had something I wanted to say about, there's a woman by the name of Dr. Jewel Oates, who was the former director of the Women's Treatment Center. And she helped to develop a survey in which women who were going into the treatment center for treatment took like a test. And she found that like between 60 and 85% of the women had PTSD, post-traumatic stress. It makes me wonder how many of us as females have post-traumatic stress or suffer from some form of hereditary anxiety.
Exactly. You're right on all counts. I'd say Black women, Black people in general, I would say got PTSD, right? Okay. Whether they want to acknowledge it or not, we all got it.
Because this has to be a response to what is going on with us. Our young people are acting out. I heard the former governor say the only true thing I ever heard him say. He said, someone asked him why young people are acting out of color. He said, because they have no hope. And that is a very profound thing to say. Someone has no hope. If you have no hope, I believe you have nothing to lose. Am I correct? Okay.
Right. Right.
But Daddy also said he's going to help change it, but I don't think he can do that. It's going to have to change within us.
No, there has to be a paradigm shift in this country in terms of how government funds and stop subjugating communities of color. There has to be a paradigm shift, and then a paradigm shift in the educational realm as well.
Right.
Because if you have a situation where everyone's got a laptop and a smartphone and a tablet, and high school students don't get typing, it's not taught in school, and young people don't know how to write cursively, you got some problems. Thank you for the FOLA. It's a place where people can get subsidized and sometimes free outpatient treatments located on South Ashland.
Okay.
Well, some folks here, they got all that. They don't even know how to construct a sentence. They don't know what an antecedent is. They don't know
that is the subjugation of our people. Period. I believe. I'm not going to get on a platform, and pardon me, Dr. Lewis, but I also have been studying Egyptology, Africa, and so forth all of my life. And I see the concerted effort it has been by European countries and others, not only to take us from Africa, but destroy the history from which we actually came.
And, you get me on, I got two things I want to say, because I want to talk about the hereditary anxiety. Okay.
Right. We here. Go ahead. You got it.
Have you heard of epigenetics? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that is when when the organism, right, when the body or whatever, it can be impacted in their lifetime. They could go through depression. They can go through, and it changes the cellular dynamics. So then their offspring is now afraid of snakes because their mom got bit by a snake when they weren't even born yet. You know what I mean? So then they come out.
But there's also the thing about lower birth weight for Black women, also historical stress. When your parent, we cannot here, sitting in the places we're sitting in, understand what it means to be hunted down, or we're coming up towards the end of the year. I'm sorry, you made your point, because I can go on and on about this, but you were saying about epigenetics.
Right. But just exactly what you're saying. Yeah. How, we are made up from trauma.
Sure we are.
Yeah. We are from trauma and continuing to deal with trauma.
And yet we're expected to have a normal lifetime. But what is normal for people of color?
It's always less than.
Always less. Yes, because we don't get our fair share. And that is historical.
Right. And so, but that's why it's so much more important that we have to care about our wellness and healing ourselves and not relying on the medical doctors because the health disparities are what they are. So
Yes, they are.
Individually, each one of us, right? Not even the whole school, each individual person has to do the work.
May I ask you, Doctor, how people will be listening to the podcast, what do you recommend people do to get some care? Most folks have Obamacare or something through a health center. What do you suggest people do who are having some issues or feel they need some help? What would you recommend, please?
If you have the insurance, try a therapist out.
Okay.
just try one out. I know with the Obamacare, some of the plans, they cover inpatient, seeing your somebody in person, or just doing telehealth. Either way, just try it out.
Okay.
Just try it out.
Okay. I will. I think as a general rule, in earlier years, Black people looked upon getting help for your emotions and whatever problems as a stigma.
Yes.
Until somebody just blows up. But we're finding more and more young people of other colors and so forth acting out with guns and so forth. Not that we're immune to that. But in this time of where everyone is supposed to have quote unquote comfort and joy, it helps to magnify the fact that we as people of this, citizens of this country and who have built it largely for free labor, there needs to be a paradigm shift in terms of how people are dealt with generally and for us specifically.
And they're talking about reparations and they haven't figured out how reparations would work out. It wouldn't necessarily, not that they're objecting to give a check to every, Black person, but really have the programming. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a part of an organization in Cobra, which is asking for reparations. And also Senator Roland Burris has an organization about reparations for descendants of African slaves. Now, how that's going to be worked out, it could be a lifetime of no taxes. How about having all your taxes refunded that you've paid in your work life, free education, free health care. But
we need the apology. We need the acknowledgement, and nobody's apologizing. Apologies are important because it implies that I'm not going to keep hurting you. I'm not going to do it again.
Well,
we can't even get apology. It's still happening, right? Right. So,
not going to get that, huh?
We haven't gotten anything. I think the thing that is really, really disturbing to me is the fact that a multi-trillion-dollar bill was passed to fix bridges. But students can't get forgiveness for student loans, even though we're in a depressed economy. The other things, there's HR 42 something that's in it's either in the House or the Senate, which authorizes reparations, at least the conversation. The bill was introduced by late Congressman John Conyers, and it never went anywhere. But the Asian Americans got a bill that says, don't do this to Asians, but we have yet to have anything seriously impacting us, with the exception of 1865, when chattel slavery was outlawed, but another kind of slavery happened to us as people, where we are marginalized and unofficially still enslaved.
And I just changed the game.
The game changed on us. We don't have the factors to make it change on us financially. Because you go in any large city in this country that have American people, Black people, and the communities are always going to look the same for the most part.
But we spend all the money.
Have lack of services. Why is that? Why is that people can come into our communities and get drugs, but I can't buy a dress in my community?
Oh,
hey, don't get me.
Hey.
I can't even go to a restaurant in my community. And
when I lived in South Shore,
I can't. There's no drugstore in my immediate community.
You can get a 40 ounce and a chicken shack. That's it.
The Arab men are frying fish and chicken in my community, but in North Africa, aka
they don't even fry chicken over in the Middle East.
They want to make it Middle East. There's no Middle East. It's just North Africa with the Suez ditch, dug to separate.
Oh, see,
they don't cook.
They don't cook fried chicken and fish.
They don't cook, but that stuff, high starch, sugar, and fats are what we get. So we have a very high rate of hypertensive illnesses and diseases, and we die
And
they
we
make
have
millions.
genetics that predisposes us to more damage from those stressors because
It's added to stress.
historical.
My ex-husband was a researcher, and one thing, he wrote a paper when he was doing his doctorate, and he found out that if people could eat high fat, high starch, and whatever, if they weren't under stress. And there was a time when every Friday there would be someone in CVS and Walgreens taking people's blood pressure when I was a graduate student in the 80s, to see what the temperature of the community, the heartbeat of the community, when something was directed towards our community in Chicago, the blood pressures would go up. We don't have that anymore because stress is a killer. If you always have the feeling that you're being attacked, you have flight and fight. If you can't dissipate that, stop that, it has a detrimental effect on all your body,
on the whole body, on the whole body.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You can't even if you ate salads, your body is not going to absorb the nutrition properly.
Right.
Because your stress response
exactly
is, telling all your blood to go to your legs and get the heck out of there. Right.
So I need to get all this. I need to get all this kale out of my refrigerator. I'm gonna go down and get me some.
People who are afraid to eat collard greens.
I'm gonna go get me some fried chicken and a cognac shot. That's what I need right today. I've been stressed.
Get rid of the kale, honey. Do some collard greens. You'll be better.
I'm eating all this kale and I'm stressed out. Let me go get anytime I eat my chicken wings and fries and that cognac and cranberry juice, I feel great.
But what do you do to relieve your stress?
What do I do?
Well, both of you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a yoga person.
Okay.
Yeah, I snapped, but I was into yoga 30 years ago as a graduate student and got away from it. And I'm very fortunate that I always had been doing something like Tai Chi. My mom, all of her life was unusual because she was lifting weights. Can you imagine little Black women lifting weights in the 60s and 70s? She was always doing that. And we had a healthy house, no pork, and we ate a certain way. And then she has a stationary bike that I still use, even though she's made her transition. I use her stationary bike, but I like the yoga, and the yoga has seemed to give me the release I really need. It's like my body is craving it.
I'll be sound asleep if I did yoga.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
I'll go right to sleep.
Right.
What do you do now?
No.
I mean, you know what?
Exercise.
I do
what
some
I like about it is brain stimulus too, because I haven't got to the point where I can put my thighs, my legs, and my hips over my head.
Wow.
But you can do that. You actually are stimulating the brain activity so that you have, when your brain works, blood circulates.
Then I need the fire department to come get me down. I'll be stuck. I can't do that.
Very interesting professional to talk to. It's a pleasure for me to talk with you, Dr. Lewis. It really is. Would you share with Anthony your phone? Because
I got all of
situations where I could refer some people to you if you're going to do some professional consultations. But since you said you are going to invest only your time into your product, I'll keep that in mind.
I'm not. It's just that with me moving to consultation and coaching, it's not like I'm going to be taking health insurance. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm moving.
Well, I wasn't going to suggest that. If the person does a personal therapist, they got to have some bank.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't really see you trying to take a HMO card. Like, let me swipe this, and you only got 2 more visits.
Hey, everybody else taking it, you might could do it. Yeah. But hey, I think Dr. Lewis is going to come back on a couple of more times.
Would be lovely.
And I think some more key people will be in at the time.
Would be lovely.
It's not just for the people that's in here, it's the people that's out watching. So, hey, it might just be us, but we don't know how many it's affecting. And as it grows, you pop in and pop out. You'll be the SHEcago Talks. You're our psych. You're our psyche.
Okay. But I also would like information from you. If you would share your number with your contact information. I talk to people a lot. So does Anthony. Women who are really interested. You might want to do a workshop or seminar.
Love to.
As you go along your path.
Yes.
You're doing it not only for you, but for those who are going to come behind you.
Yes. Yes.
And the fact that African Americans in this country have largely helped to improve it through inventions, but get no credit for it or cash.
Right.
We want to change that. We want to change that whole narrative. And since we have been blessed enough to have what we have, you have your doctorate. Anthony's got his inspiration for having Chicago. I was able to get through all the everywhere through the graduate schools and the whole thing that I've been to. I believe I have not only a responsibility, but an obligation to help those who need the information and help. And I'm going to try to do that as much as I can.
I grew up on the short bus. I'm just a guy. I'm
Stop
just
it.
here.
He's been inspired. He always tries to play himself down, but
Yeah,
inspiration is godlike.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That short bus wasn't really long to walk on. And you was at the back already. So, hey.
At least you wasn't in the back in the South, Anthony. We forgive you for being funny while we're trying to be serious. But I wish you both a peaceful and a prosperous new year. And I hope you enjoy the holidays if you will celebrate them.
Yeah.
And I look forward to talking to you again.
I hope she's coming back. I'm going to try to get her to come back. And
wonderful.
I'm always going to shoot her the link so she can pop in. And that's the one thing I want everybody to know. This is an untraditional show. You could pop in 3 minutes. Boom. The conversation's going good.
Well, we expected more people. I had some women who are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But I would imagine I try to think the best of people until they show me something else.
Well, a lot of people don't like to come on. A lot of people are camera shy.
We're not making excuses for people's choices, and you are correct. I had someone tell me that life is defined by your choices. Some choices are already made for you, but other choices you make for yourself. So I'm very pleased to have met you, Dr. Lewis. I look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah.
I want to hear so much more about you. I mean, just all the things you're connected to, knowing, and Cobra and doing all the.
Well, we talk. I'm an angry senior citizen.
Okay.
Because
she's the revolutionist.
I was raised to believe that if you did X, Y, Z in this world, certain things would happen.
It's a setup.
It's a setup. Like James Baldwin wrote and talked about that in the 1960s. Every time someone threw a brick, people got scared and they opened the door a tiny bit so a few people could get through. I was one of those who was smart. I was able to get to all these Ivy League schools and the whole thing. But then I see that fist is there again to restrict people going forward and being able to have basic stuff like a life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A
life. A life. You're right. And that's everything.
Yeah.
A life. Sometimes people get caught up in the like Anthony, you say you don't want to work no more. You pushing the button, you're pushing the button,
But right. Right. What if you graduate from a high school? I was also an instructor at city colleges, and it was rare to find a student who was really capable of working freshman English. Why is that? Are they stupid? No, it's because there's a mechanism in the curriculum that says you only don't do 20 minutes for this today, and then you're going to do something next tomorrow. And the classes are overcrowded.
Those are all choices.
Those are all choices. But the choice is so that we, as I used to tell my students, are always second, not first.
Mm-hmm. It's a choice. What they choose to teach with the critical race theory and all that.
It's a choice.
These are choices.
It's a choice.
Yes.
And why can't our choices? We need to make some of our own choices. But I know you're going over your time, Anthony.
Oh, well, it's my network. I get to do what I want to. And I think too much stuff from medical to food, everything is managed. It's not like 100 years ago. Like I teased my father when he was the big kid in the schoolhouse. I'm like, how you have kindergartners with a high schooler? But I see my father had the most beautiful penmanship as a man. It helped him in his decorating his cakes. And he really learned. And he used to tell me, I ain't doing nothing. I said, Dad, I'm going to hear that stuff.
But Anthony, you also had a different mentality there. You had someone who was invested in the education of those
teacher.
Children.
She was from the neighborhood.
Right. Because when I was coming up, my grammar school teacher would say, homeroom teacher would say, I love you all. I love you all. And I look upon you as being my children.
Those teachers are watching the clock till my 2:30, get out of here.
And there's nothing wrong with the modern teachers, many of them, but some of them, yes. But there's a system that is put together so we don't win.
Right.
That's the thing that has to be addressed. And you see in Congress, even though we've got the knack about voting, their bodies, which are putting things in place. Say, I don't care if you vote, we changing this game. Well, we have to be able to go with that too. I used to kid when I was in graduate school. I used to tell my students, because I was going to graduate school and teaching too. I said, I had to learn how to change tennis shoes and run in this program I'm in, because they ain't giving me a play at all. But all of us have gone through battles and struggles. And Dr. Lewis, I know you have horror stories from things that have happened to you trying to get through. And
They made me better, though.
Hey,
they made me better.
It tempered you. It lets you know that you have a reserve of strength, courage, and also a divine presence that's helping you along the way, whether it's grandma or your daddy or someone who you can't see, but you feel a sense of stress.
Yes.
You hit the stress. You feel that stress has been taken from you because someone is like, we're helping you with this.
Right.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
It's glorious. It's freeing.
Wonderful.
It's freeing.
Yes. But that's allowed us to survive this stuff here. But we have to turn it as people of color into something additional.
Y'all deep, man.
Yeah, we got to turn this.
That went way over my head.
So that's why, as an angry senior, I'm in these organizations to try to be as helpful as I can. Harold Washington had a spiritual that he really adored. He said, if I can help someone along the way, then my living is not in vain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because once you get to this place of really loving yourself and knowing your worth and knowing you deserve your dreams, right? Then you can come from a place of loving yourself, and then you can love others, right? So many of us don't truly love ourselves and believe that we're worthy, right?
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
That's the work.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
so
a lot
much,
of
Dr.
work.
Lewis. It's been
We banged up.
to you.
We are banged up. That's going to be a lot of work.
It's a lot.
When I work
it's a
these
lot of
streets,
work, but you consider the historical legacy we've gotten from slavery.
Yeah.
Say we're still here.
We're still here. And that is the concern. When things are heaped upon us, they're negative, but we turn it. It's magic. I used to always tell my students, you don't understand the first people on this planet. We're the descendants of them. My when I was teaching high school English, my students would always say, "Wait, Miss Wright, this is hard to write." And when I brought them pictures from Egypt to show the pyramids and in some of the tombs and so forth, carvings, I said, you know what? Our folks wanted to let you know, you trying to write on paper, they did it in stone.
And what they were talking about, all those Egyptologists and those Ivy Leagues, they know what it says on those walls.
Yes.
And those walls, they talk about the magic, right?
Well, I'm a student of hieroglyphs. I'm doing that too.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
So please, I can't wait to hear your workshop on that.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fine, because that's an integral part of passing on the legacy. It's an integral part. But
and we don't got that. Like, bring Egyptology to our
children.
Hey,
I got incredible people who have been in my life and who are vested in getting the truth out about us, because everybody's telling us we something else than what we are, and we have a religious system that does not support us, but supports something else. And I'm not going to get off into that because I don't want to be unpleasant. Anyway.
That's the meat of the. I love talking about stuff like that. So please,
you got the hat on today. You might as well.
Okay, we're the only people. I'll let it go after this. Who worship something that doesn't look like us. Think about it. The pictures.
That's what we were told and trained to. But we started to learn different
control. We had a way of life, not a religion. My mom used to always say, "I'm not a Sunday Christian. I try to treat people fairly every day."
Every day.
That's a way of life. It's not something you do
just
at a particular time, like this Christmas thing where everybody is giving and loving. What happened to that the other 300 and some days?
I always say that
for people to be hungry and talking about they are food inconsistency or some kind of crap. It's an Orwellian thing where we got now. We don't call what something is what it actually is.
Right.
It sounds better.
No, you're hungry.
We give it a
all
turn.
These millions of dollars and astronauts going into space. People are hungry, or people live on the streets. I can't, the child's heart inside me, I can't rationalize that.
And it's easy to be on the streets. It's
Easy.
so easy.
Yeah.
It's
Easy.
so easy.
Yeah, because most of us are one check away.
And I tell these young kids, is your mother paying all that money for them shoes? Y'all could be on the street. They like, we'll never. The government will take care of me. I say, oh, they will? Keep
Get
living.
in line.
Keep living.
Get in
Right.
line.
What
But the
kind of-
thing,
and then is that the life of your dreams, or is that just enough to keep you grinding and struggling?
it's good point.
Forever.
Good point. So
To
you
them,
don't
that's
plan
a
for
great
your
life,
retirement.
long
It
as
used
they
to
can
be
struggle.
that African American men didn't collect Social Security because they were doing manual and all this stuff that you needed masks on they didn't have, and working in these factories, and they would die before
Yeah.
they could collect Social Security. That's changed now. But what is
Right.
the quality of your life? Thank you, Dr. Lewis. What is the quality of your life? What can you plan for except a day-to-day thing? And Marvin's Gaye song, he says in one of his songs, this ain't living. This ain't living.
ain't
This is a
living.
true imitation of life. A true imitation of life. And
Well,
most of us as people of color have not experienced living
yeah.
where we don't have these things which are impacting us.
And
But
they
y'all need
say,
to come over to my house and we'll sit down and have some liquor.
I would love
and
that.
I'll light a fire.
Oh,
And
I
we'll
would
listen
love
to
that.
some Train or some Eric Dolphy or something else. I can lighten up a little bit, but that's my thing.
I know that's why I have her on the show. I'm trying to get her to take over the show. I ain't even got to come on no more.
No. Anthony is very far thinking. He's
I'm
and
just a guy.
yeah, well, he had a really good idea to support women, and that's a heritage that our men had before we were brought here.
But I'm getting the hell beat out of me everywhere I look, though.
Yeah,
When I talk about it,
this is another thing that we just spoke about. Please listen again.
oh,
This is a trial. When you finish, I heard Steve Harvey on television, not television, on radio, talking about when you set a goal and you accomplish it, then you set another goal, because these are segments and things you must do to accomplish something
on your journey.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Yes.
You know how hard it is for a black man to sit in a black barbershop and talk about coaching little girls and women stuff among all those men. They look at you like, they look at you like,
yeah,
dude,
I've already heard that.
Get on out of here.
I've already heard that, Anthony.
Oh yeah, I'm the coach.
The wrong barber.
Well, your being is inspiration. They could talk about it all you want, but at least they see you.
Sure.
They see a man who cares about their daughters.
And you know what? It's respectful. That's the thing, because we're not valued, and little kids, little females, we internalize that. Yeah. So we're not treated perhaps the way we should be treated, or we haven't identified how we should be treated, which goes back to your excellent points, Dr. Lewis, is that we have to, when we come up, we look to people for direction, for support. If we are not taught we are valuable and loved in our homes, when we make life choices, women make choices about men, how are we going to know what is a good man or a man who's not supposed to be for us and with us? Mm-hmm. We don't have that luxury.
Well, we have our body and our emotions as a tool, right? Now that's going to combat our culture and what society says you should do and stuff like that. But when you trust yourself and trust, what your thoughts are around your emotions, that helps to be your guide.
But the concern that I have is that many young women haven't learned to love themselves, and therefore they make poor choices.
Right. I just got here. I'm 50. It's hard. You know what I mean? So when I see women in their 30s and I'm like, oh, I'm cheering because it's an arduous journey.
It really is. I have this well, I won't talk about my young women that I talk to a lot. They say some things that I would adore, having the beauty, the strength, the quickness of a young person now, but I wouldn't want to do this because I see how the society is moving, and we have not been kind in many instances, males to female, and then females to male. It's a minefield. It's a minefield. Well, we that's okay.
I want to
Thank
go to
you.
your house because I want to have this talk, because even just going down that line, and don't bring in like technology and artificial intelligence.
And wait a minute, and the music that says you got to do this. It's like I was in Switzerland one time, and there were no Black people in the town that I was in. And I was up in the Alps with someone I was doing. It's a long story. I'll tell you about it. And at the town, it cost too much to drive a car. So they had this fantastic bus system. And one night I was walking up a hill, going back to the people whose house with whom I was staying. And these white guys were in this convertible. And they start honking their horns when they saw me. I didn't pay any attention. I'm just walking up to these people's house up on an incline. And they kept saying, "Ooh, sister," making obscene gestures towards me and the whole thing. And my first thing was, what's this about? The other ones, get the so-and-so out of there. I didn't know what was going to happen. But the media, the propaganda that is splattered all over the world about Black women, and that we are in some way super sexualized, and we don't care. We mistreat our children, and we're loud and we're angry. It's the media that has, and in these videos where women are shown in ways which are very disrespectful, it's hard to combat that. And everybody's talking about a B and a D and a P and the whole thing. And I'm going like, where is the tenderness? I see in the society here in the media, you'll see a man calling a woman a bitch or beating her up or cutting her up or whatever, but you won't ever see him caressing her face or stroking her breast in a loving way. There is an aberration of evil here. Oh, I'm going to use that for my next article. Thank you. That we have it's going to take an effort to work against. Mm-hmm. And I'm quite sure women who talk to you I admire your stamina and your fortitude, Dr. Lewis, to be a psychologist, because many hard things have happened to males as well as females, boys, girls, teenagers, the whole thing.
I don't know. All the stuff I've been in, I still never wanted to be. I didn't have an interest in being a psychologist, though.
Because you're supposed to be a social worker. That's your path, right? I mean,
I was just waiting on the job. I just did that before I came to police. I was just waiting on the job out the Army.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my first
getting off the block.
Sociology, but I couldn't do it because I didn't have the stomach for it.
Oh,
I didn't have the stomach for it. I went to my first time in court hearing a little girl, the court asking a little girl what some man did to her. I couldn't. I said, I can't do this. Mm-hmm. There's just no way. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the stomach for it. Mm-hmm. So I had to do something else. So your fortitude, and the Lord blesses those who helps folks for real, because
I guess being a cop, man, I need to go drink a whole gallon or something, because I didn't seen some crap. And
I know you have,
especially in them CHA homes.
I know you have, because remember, I was at Robert Taylor. I taught Robert Taylor too. I guess you said this lady had a lot of jobs. Yes.
she's a new jack. That's what I tell people. I was a new jack. I didn't sell dope. I just worked a lot of jobs, different places. But yeah, I mean, and it's kind of funny. I had kind of like 5 girlfriends that all had psych degrees, and I was the cop. And I used to just look at them like, I don't know. I'm just a cop. I'm chasing the guy down. I don't know. I didn't get to read his psyche. I know he shot somebody. He shot at me. He running. I'm going to get him. That was it.
I think one of the things that can be said about you is that not only do you have a spirit that has some insight, but you have foresight, and also is the blessing that you survived all of that. And I don't get a sense that you are impaired, because I wouldn't be talking with you or interacting with you, because I have really good radar about men.
So, I mean, if I was impaired, you wouldn't talk to, you wouldn't speak to me?
No, I wouldn't involve myself in a process like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, the placard, just because I got the placard in my car, people say, why he parked there? He ain't disabled. You just don't see it. Remember
Dr.
that.
Lewis, it was really pleasant talking to you. I look forward, and I'm going to talk to you all. Yeah, well, let's come over and light a fire, talk about some stuff.
I would love that.
We got to invite the whole crowd over.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say all of that. I'm not saying the whole crowd.
I'll be there.
Okay.
There.
That's fine.
I bring a loaf of bread. I have enough bread for you.
It's not that at all. I just don't like a lot of folks.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean.
And we're still Omicron or whatever. It's still, you know.
Yeah,
no, well, that's a part of it too. But
we still Corona. I know.
With. I seem to feel very comfortable with you, Dr. Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we can tolerate Mr. Williams.
We like your energy. We like your energy, Mr. Williams. We like
his energy. I'm going to run. I got an 8 o'clock thing. Take care,
if teacher Miss White would take this over, y'all don't even have to see me.
No, we want you to do this until it gets to a point that you might want to change your format, have co-host, so to speak. You're in a formative stage. So don't make a decision about that until you're at a point where you might need to do that.
I'm ready to put you and Dr. Lewis and let y'all run it.
We could do that, you know.
I know. That's what I need. I need to be behind the scenes. I'm tired. I just want to.
No, we'll talk. But I got to get ready for my next.
I know. I got to go.
Take care,
all right, ladies. Thanks for
Happy holidays.
Hope you can meet back next Wednesday. Have some more folks. And we have another conversation. Holidays,
I'm going to be out of the city, so I already told you that. So
it's on the phone. You don't have to be at your desk in your house.
My time zone might not allow me to be on the phone with you.
Take care, everyone. All right. Thanks, Doc.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, it's your buddy AJ Williams, the media guy. It's that time for your wellness and your wealth to reach new highs, to expand the universe. So give us a call, 312-686-4097, or email us at SHEcago100@gmail.com. That's right, SHEcago100@gmail.com. And join the conversation on SHEcago Talks Live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and watch your wellness and your wealth rocketed out of this world. That's right. Come get the 911 on the 411. For women, from women. Hurry. Remember, it's a Her World Media production. All women, all the time. #Shift the Spotlight.